Hello, everyone. Welcome back to JC Radio Podcast, the only podcast that will give you the wrong information with the utmost confidence. Also, we are fans of music, movies, comics, TV shows, radio stations, podcasts, the upstairs bathroom, and I think that's about it that we're fans
All
of.
right.
Yeah. I personally like the upstairs bathroom just because when you have people over, that's where you go number two.
Fair
So,
enough.
but you don't have the upstairs bathroom at your place.
I do not have an upstairs
Well,
bathroom. We
I
have a one floor building,
no, I mean no, you have a basement.
not where I'm at now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was talking about your parents' place.
My
Sorry.
parents, yes, they do have a
Yeah,
basement.
but both of those bathrooms are upstairs.
Yes.
Your
I mean,
yeah.
I guess in a sense they're upstairs.
So, but you have two bathrooms where you're at though.
Yeah.
So if you have a bunch of people over and you need to go the number doo doo, which bathroom do you go to?
I'm pretty sure most people just go to the bathroom that I use because the only other one we
Well,
have
no,
is
no,
part of
no.
an
Well,
ensuite.
of course, like most people will do that, but like as a guest, you don't really just annihilate somebody's bathroom. You kind of try to, whatever. But as a host, like for me, when I host a party, if you see me go upstairs, that's what I'm doing, so I don't ruin the toilet for my guests.
Well, fair enough.
I thought normal people did that. Talking to you, I feel weird now for doing that.
If I had an upstairs bathroom, I probably would. But like since they're both on the same floor here, and one of them is part of an ensuite, like I just use the same bathroom I normally use.
You don't talk to Binky, who's your roommate, and be like, "Hey, man, like, we're gonna have people over. Can I use your bathroom if I gotta like go number two?"
I haven't ever.
Oh, okay. You just annihilate the do you just annihilate the bathroom right then and there and just be like, all right, guys, it's pretty much up for grabs now for anybody else that wants to challenge that. So,
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
that's messed up, dude.
I mean, it happens.
That's probably the most true statement we've ever said on the show.
Exactly.
It happens. Well, what have you been up to this week?
Uh, well, since we last talked, I had work for, 5 days, and unfortunately, the last week was not great for Fulton. We were pretty slow, and like we expect to be slow, but like we were really slow compared to what we've been doing. So that didn't go super great, but again, not looking like we're closing anytime soon. We've still got everything budgeted for the next 3 to 4 months at minimum,
That's good.
but otherwise, I've just kind of been relaxing on my time off and waiting until my girlfriend comes down again so we can hang out more.
Awesome, dude. Is she not down now or
No, she's currently back up in Kirksville for the next couple days.
do you ever visit her?
Well, I was planning on actually going up today, but last night I was talking to her and she just had a bunch of stuff that kind of came up this week and said it'd be easier if I just didn't come up right now, but she'd be down. I think she's coming down Sunday night. So
That should be fun.
that's kind of, yeah. I've been up
So,
there once and, plan on trying to get up there more, but it's a little harder for me to go up there and spend some time because, like, I'll have like a day and a half I can spend up there where, like, if she comes down, like, she can still kind of stay around here even if I'm at work or something, whereas, I
yeah.
can't really stay up there when I got work.
Yeah. What what we have a holiday we have Thanksgiving coming up. Are you going to be with her on Thanksgiving? Is she going to be with you? Are you guys just going to be like it's still early in the dating or
I know she'll be down here for Thanksgiving. She'll be at my parents with us for Thanksgiving this year.
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sweet, sweet. Is that all you've been up to this week since we last talked?
Pretty much. Haven't had a chance to do a whole lot otherwise. I mean, checked out the new Black Veil Bride stuff that dropped, but we're going to talk about that in another episode.
Yeah, yeah. Did you like it though? I mean, that's a yes or no question. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's good. I know the last episode I mentioned that I was like frightened, but
Hmm.
no, I liked it. I liked it. I will say one thing though. I listened to the intro and I was
Hmm.
like, this song sounds familiar. And then I heard like the verses going, and I was like, this
Hmm.
still sounds familiar. And I stopped the song. My wife was like, why'd you stop it? I was like, hold on a second. And I was thinking, and I was like, okay, listen to the intro of the song and like the verses up to the chorus. And we listened to it like 3 times. I was like, okay, now listen to this song. And I put on The Void by Parkway Drive. And we were
Hmm.
both like, it's the same song. Straight up.
Oh,
Like it almost sounds note for note, like the same song.
damn.
And I was like, no, why did you have to do that? I was already skeptical of your music. So,
Yeah.
but hopefully, yeah, I think like tomorrow the Phantom's supposed to come out or something like that. So
All right.
they were putting stuff on their Facebook. So I don't know, but yeah, awesome. Well, that's cool. That's good to hear. I guess that nothing's changed in your life.
Not recently, no.
Any new video games? Like, come on, give us something.
No, I mean, really nothing new lately.
You getting the PlayStation 5?
At some point, probably, but that's gonna be a while.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
I probably even over a year before I even look at getting one.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, most people I know that have a PlayStation probably already have a PS4. If they do get the five, then like all of the games you can still play online with people that are on like the four, even if you get the five. So like as far as that goes, there's no reason to get the five.
I got
Maybe
you.
for some of the new games and stuff, but in general, like I don't really need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily need the four when I bought it as it came out, but at that point, like I'd never owned a brand new console,
Yeah.
and I'd never, I had saved up for it, so like I knew I could afford it, and it was one of those things where I'm like, well, I really want to get it. Like I'm gonna spoil myself once and get it like as it comes out. And now I'm like, after having done it once, like there's so many bug issues that can happen on launch that it's like you're better off just waiting until things die down with any of them, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Like just wait until like the release is kind of calmed down, and then they'll get all the problems fixed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's a good point. But I'm like one of those overzealous people that's just like, I really want it now. I'll deal with
Oh
the
yeah,
bugs later.
I did that with the four. So I mean, I get like some like every now and then. I don't think it's a bad thing to kind of jump on it, but like the people that do it for every console that comes out, I'm like, what's the
Yeah.
point? Like at a
Yeah.
certain point, I'm like, I'm not gonna jump on it because I know it's gonna have problems.
Well,
Like
like
I'll just wait.
I remember when like the GameCube came out and we did that like back in the day was like the deal is like you could trade in your 64 for a brand new GameCube, and we did
Hmm.
that. And man, I could hear Binky in the background like a son of a gun.
Yeah, he's a little bit loud right now.
Yeah, yeah. So but anyways, yeah. So we traded in our 64 for a brand new GameCube, and then when the Wii came out, we actually camped outside of Target the day the Wii was released, and that was like our family birthday present or Christmas present to us. So,
Okay,
well, give me 1 second. I just messaged Binky to shut up because I could hear him over the phone.
fair enough. It's not like I'm in the same room as him. Like there's a whole set of walls between us. Like
Yeah.
the door's open, but that's about it.
Well, shut the door. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I might get the PS5. I was going to get it like for like my own Christmas present, but I feel like if I try to get it now, it'd be like dang near impossible.
It's
So,
pretty tough right now. Like
yeah.
Walmart says they're gonna have them online for Black Friday. Like you can only buy them online. They won't have
Yeah.
them in store, which I think is smart because they're trying to limit, riots and crap right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But at the
Um,
same time, like if you're not on there within the first 15 seconds, they're gone.
yeah. And I don't know if I want to be doing that or not. I,
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm probably going to wait till like January, maybe the beginning of February. Just,
Hmm.
just so that one, they can work on a little bit of stuff, and two, just so I could actually get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
So
then, I would think you should be good to go, but
yeah,
it's hard to say. I mean, that's when I got my 4 was I ordered it in December. It came in like the first week of January.
yeah, yeah, and like, there's only one game I'm gonna get right away, and that
And
and
what's
that's
the first one you're looking at getting?
Doom Eternal.
Fair enough. Is that going to be on the 5?
It should be. I don't see why it
Okay.
wouldn't. It's a new enough game, like it came out this year. So I don't know. Let me look it up. Fetch.
All right.
Is Doom Eternal going to be on the
PlayStation
PlayStation?
5.
Oh, hold on. PlayStation's one word. 5 question mark. Oh, Google Overlord. However, Doom Eternal will still be playable on Xbox Series X/Series S and PlayStation 5 with backwards capability.
Okay.
Okay.
So one way or another, it'll still be playable on
Yeah.
the 5,
Yeah.
whether you buy the PS4 version or if they do come out with a PS5
Yeah.
version.
Now, I'll tell you this much. I'm probably going to get the Xbox Series S next year.
All right.
And so I'm going to get the digital PlayStation 5 cuz as much as it saddens me to say this, we don't need CDs anymore in this day and age.
We really don't. So many things are bought through like digital, whether it's on like the Xbox store, the PlayStation store, so many things you can just
Yeah.
buy digitally.
I mean, like
Like if you
even like
have,
Nintendo, like back with the Wii, like you could buy your
yeah,
games like digitally before. Okay, I'm just gonna make the statement out there. If it wasn't for Nintendo being ahead of the times, we would not have the technology that we have for the Xbox or PlayStation.
oh
Okay,
hell no.
I'm just throwing
So
that
many
out there.
people like rag on Nintendo, but Nintendo is like the reason we have half the things we have.
Like Nintendo did the Wii, and so came the Kinect and the PlayStation Player, or whatever. The Nintendo came
PlayStation Move?
Move or something like yeah.
No. I don't remember what the PlayStation one was.
Which then led to that being like affinity things. Then also Nintendo was like, hey, if you want an old 64 game or N6 or NES game, you can now digitally download that to your Wii and do that. Oh, do you want an avatar? Here's a me.
Yep.
Online. Well, not online playing. We have online playing because Halo 2. All right, so I will admit that. But like Super Smash Brothers, like opened up a lot of things for PlayStation, and just
Oh yeah.
now the only thing is that the GameCube was way way ahead of its time.
Oh,
Cause
hands down. I think the biggest thing that Nintendo gets ragged on is the fact that like 90% of the games Nintendo actually releases are meant for a younger audience. So it's like most people know Nintendo is probably the superior console as far as any like
yeah,
console stuff
well
goes.
here's the
The problem
thing.
is they don't have games for like people our age. It's like, oh, you can play SpongeBob, and it's like, yeah, but I don't really want to play SpongeBob.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Nintendo isn't like PlayStation and Xbox where they're like older people. They are
Yeah.
more like younger people / family friendly.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I'll tell you what, between both of those, they just skyrocket in the stock market and in everything else in their worth tenfold. Let me tell you something, man. All right, if I show up at your house, say we're having like a gathering, right? And I
Hmm.
and I bring a Wii, and I'm like, I have 4 controllers. We're playing Dance Dance.
Yeah.
You know, don't act like everybody wouldn't be having a great time.
No, we definitely
Ver-
would.
yeah, versus like we're taking turns on like Call of Duty.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not the rag
Yeah.
on Call of Duty or like anything that PlayStation or Xbox has. I'm saying like I'm not gonna unless we're doing like a legit LAN party. I'm not gonna bring my PlayStation or Xbox to a gathering.
Yeah.
You know,
There are a couple things you could do on there, but yeah, a lot of it is usually done over the internet with a whole nother
Yeah.
console, so
And
there's not as many like group games you can play on there.
and like that's another thing. Like you don't need internet to enjoy Nintendo games, which I think also like helps a lot. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, like Squadrons, for instance, because I'm still all about that game, and I will be forever. Um, I didn't need internet to play it, but playing against the AI was getting kind of old, and
Hmm.
I needed internet to customize my fighter. So unless I was just going to do the same level over and over again on story mode, so I can customize my fighter, I was stuck. Excuse me, with the default settings versus the AI.
Yeah.
So, um, but no, I mean, wow, I keep burping. Ooh, I had enchiladas for dinner, and I would tell you, they were delish. So,
Sounds like it.
oh yeah, yeah, I love your song. So, no, no. I mean, if you ask me, like, oh, yeah, and also with like the Nintendo Switch, when you could just pick it up and play it,
Oh
like,
yeah.
now I will admit the PSP, the PlayStation Portable, it's
Hmm.
basically a PSP, but that was way ahead of its time, you know?
Oh yeah, that did not do well.
It should have by all means.
It should
If
have,
it was
but
released
people
like
just were not ready for it.
yeah, if it was released like 2 years ago, it would have been perfect, you know?
I could agree with that. I
Cuz
think it definitely would have done way better had it been
yeah.
released like 2 years ago.
I mean, but like look at the time when that was released. I mean, you had the Game Boy Advance, which was kind of weird because it was like a flip up like tricorder.
Yeah.
But then you had the what was that Game Boy game when like you have the stylus and it was two
The
screens.
you mean the original DS?
Yeah, the DS was coming out, and like that was kind of cool. And then they had like the 3DS, which like effed with your eyes like a mother. But like honestly,
Hmm.
like nobody talks about the DS anymore.
Okay.
You know, is the DS even
Yeah.
still a thing?
Uh, really, any Nintendo handheld isn't a thing anymore because of the Switch. Like, they don't make games for the DS, the 3DS, like, none of that still
Yeah,
is
that's
getting
all.
games because they literally turned what was, them having a handheld console and a home console and just put it all into
Yeah,
one.
and I don't know. Yeah, everything's showing like, oh, you could turn your Switch into a DS player.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, like that's fair. I don't know why it took them this long to do that. I mean, because they had the GameCube. The whole point of the GameCube was for it to be portable. I mean, that's why it had the handle on the back. You know, so you could carry
Yeah.
it around. And like growing up, we had this really cool case where it was a GameCube case, but the flap that shuts it on the top is a TV, and you just
Oh,
and it was battery power too. You could plug it in, or you could plug it into your cigarette lighter while you're driving. You know, for like long road trips. Or
okay.
it was just battery powered. So like if you were going camping or something, you could still play that. And like we did that a lot, and it was really cool. And like it was like the coolest thing ever. But in my mind, I'm just like, you know, how old was I when that came out? I was, well, what year did the GameCube come out? Hold on, because I was pretty
Oh,
young,
that
and
was, yeah, I was gonna say that early to mid 2000s.
when was the GameCube released? Because that was so 2001 was when the GameCube was released. It was probably 2002 when I had the thing. So I was at about 7 or 8 years old. Um, and I was at 7, 8 years old. I'm just like, why hasn't everybody heard about or bought this? Like
Yeah.
this like portable TV. And it was like in a sense it was very inexpensive too.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see if I can find this. See, GameCube portable TV. Yeah, boom, there it is. Yeah, you just hooked it up to it, and you're good. All right, not
Yeah.
quite how I described. I guess we just had a case for it, But yeah, it was something that you just put on the top of your GameCube, and there you go. And it was back when everybody thought we were going to be using little discs for everything.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the GameCube that had little discs. Like a lot of computer things were going to like little discs, and like that didn't
Yep.
happen anymore.
I'm so glad it didn't.
Well, I mean, it was an interesting concept, because it held more memory than the big disc, you know. But it
Yeah,
was
but
basically
eventually they
like,
just kind of figured out how to make the regular size hold more.
yeah. Well, then like flash drives became a thing, and it was just like, well, why don't you just use a flash drive? You
Yeah,
know,
why
it's
don't you
just
just do everything digitally?
yeah, and then like digital, yeah. So like, yeah. The what's it called? The 5-inch colored game screen. Yeah, that's what it was. Play your GameCube anywhere. Cars the video game. Yeah. I mean, it was just really cool. I've always been a Nintendo guy, you know?
I mean, honestly, if Nintendo made more stuff that I would play on like a day-to-day basis, I would probably have a Switch, but there's only like a handful of things that I would play very consistently on there.
I mean, like, to be fair, there's only a handful of things that would play on both the Xbox or PlayStation.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I
But,
just feel like there's more stuff that they release on those that it's like, okay, I might play that fairly consistently.
well,
Whereas like, Nintendo is more like family friendly kid kind of games. And I'm like, well, a lot of that stuff, like, obviously I love playing like Mario Party and stuff, but like Mario Kart, clearly you can just do online with a bunch of random people and you can still have fun. But like Mario Party without like a group of friends, you're not gonna hop in that. Super Smash, again, another one where it's better with friends.
yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that's like, well,
Mario
without
Kart's pretty
other
fun.
people, it doesn't, it's not great.
Well, Mario Kart's pretty fun. On your own, just
Yeah.
that's
Oh, yeah.
like
And with the Switch and stuff, you can just like hop on the internet and play with like random
yeah.
people.
Well, here,
So I mean, that still isn't too bad. Or
well,
even like you could always do like uh what the heck is the new Legend of Zelda game? I don't remember what it's called for
oh,
some
it's like
reason.
Legends of Hyrule or something. Yeah, of like
Yeah.
Hyrule or something like
Like
that. I don't know.
either way, whatever the new Legend of Zelda game, like you could easily play that. But like there's a lot of the stuff that I would normally play on Nintendo that's like, well, without other people to play with, they just aren't all that fun.
Well, Nintendo is all about that like um adventure and like puzzle games. I mean, like you have like. I mean, let's take Super Mario Brothers, or just Mario Brothers in general. Like that was very much like a puzzle game, trying to look for I don't want to say Easter eggs, but like secret passages, trying to figure out the best way to get through. And then of course you had like oh yeah, like every Mario Brothers game has been like that ever since. Legend of Zelda is very much a like find the key to open this thing, and that will open this thing to open this thing to open the thing that you were looking for in the freaking beginning. Um,
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. Well, the original arcade Donkey Kong was just an arcade game, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, Donkey Kong Country and the Donkey Kong 64, that was all like a puzzle game. I mean, they focus a lot on like puzzle games and stuff. But then you also have games like Final Fantasy. You know?
Do they have those on Nintendo?
Yeah, no, Final Fantasy is a Nintendo game.
I'm pretty sure that's a PlayStation thing.
Nah, it's Nintendo. Because even the characters in Final Fantasy show up in Super Smash Brothers. Hold on,
Yeah.
let's look it up real quick. We're oh Google Overlord is
I
Final
know.
Fantasy. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy Nintendo. Yeah,
Okay, it must be both.
yeah,
Yeah, it's both. It's Nintendo and PlayStation.
yeah. It says
Basically
publisher.
everything but Xbox.
It says the publisher was Nintendo.
Does it?
Yeah, yeah. Final Fantasy is a fantasy role playing video game developed and published by Square in 1987. The original is now regarded as the most influential and successful role playing game in the Nintendo Entertainment System, playing a major role in popularizing the genre. Underneath that says publisher Nintendo, Microcabin, Square Enix, category video game, developer Square.
All right. I guess eventually PlayStation just got in on it then.
I mean,
I always thought it
yeah.
was a PlayStation thing.
Well, Soul Calibur was like an everything thing. I mean,
Was it?
yeah, because I remember the GameCube for Soul Calibur 2 had Link, but if it was the PlayStation, you had the Tekken guy. So,
Okay.
which makes sense. And then if it was Xbox, you had Spawn because each game corresponded with the console.
All right.
So, which was really cool. Which I just say Link was the best for that. So you like, yeah, you have stuff like Final Fantasy or what's that other fantasy game that came out for like the Nintendo? If I can find it, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like, I mean, what's to me, what's hard about convincing people that like Nintendo's got their stuff down is like it's like yeah, the Nintendo's making so much money on the Mario world. You know, you have Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Metroid, even Kirby.
Yeah.
And it's all kids stuff. But like, I think people forget about stuff like Final Fantasy or like what's that? Like Animal Crossing or other stuff like that. Pokemon is another huge one. Pokemon is Nintendo,
Yeah.
so I mean, fire. I and like I don't want to say Nintendo's becoming more violent these days, but they, as I talk about the stock prices, they're negative 0.34%. Whatever, they'll get it back.
I think a
Um,
lot of things are currently negative.
Shoot, I mean, if they're negative 0.34%, I'll buy a Switch right now for them and put it back up to the positive fetch. Tetris is another game, but again, that's a puzzle game.
Hmm.
Um, it's just I don't know. What what would Nintendo have to come out with for you to be like, I'm I'm sorry, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm sorry, I got nothing against you and like your relationship with Nintendo or anything like that. I was just curious. So, what Nintendo game would have to come out for you to be like, that's it. I'm getting a Switch.
I don't really know because like all of the stuff I enjoy playing, I've played a lot of the like God of War series, which obviously isn't. I mean, that's PlayStation exclusive, so it's not going
Yeah,
to go anywhere anytime soon. But
yeah.
you know, I guess games kind of similar to that. Uh, I mean, Final Fantasy is another one that I've played a lot of. Final Fantasy X, more specifically, I've played a lot of it. Uh, Stuff like The Witcher, may not quite so much that because that's very Skyrim-esque and not like necessarily how they play, but the whole fact that it will take you literal forever to beat the game.
It's funny.
So I mean,
It's like you're naming like puzzle games, and I'm like,
they kind of are, but at the same time, like they're kind of fantasy adventure games, which I get Nintendo kind of has, but they're a little more on like the kids side of it. Because
like
like
yes and
obviously
no.
the SpongeBob game they have, like there's a lot of puzzle figuring out to it, it's a lot of adventure to it, but at the same time, like that's not really a game that I'm gonna want to play because like it what it's based around just doesn't interest me.
What about the like Resident Evil or Capcom games? Because Nintendo and Capcom has a big relationship with Nintendo.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't know that I've actually played all that much stuff by Capcom.
That's probably one of the fairest statements we've ever said.
Yeah.
Because I know like every Resident Evil game has come out um, Nintendo, and they've even had like specific like Resident Evil Zero or other like Resident Evil like arcade based games that have come out on Nintendo. And then there's also like Mega Man that was released on the NES. You
Yeah.
know, so um, I feel like Nintendo has more adult games than we think.
To an extent, I mean, at the same time, like I enjoy playing like Mortal Kombat, which we'll never see on there. just because it's not a
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
the fact that, for the longest time, I mean, even the fact that they still do, like, Call of Duty is probably the most violent they get. Not saying Call of Duty doesn't have a lot of violence, but like outside of that, a lot of what they run doesn't have a lot of like the violence and the gore to it. Like
Yeah.
I played the stuff out of Bloodborne for a little bit. I love that game. I just haven't had a chance to hop back into it, mostly because I know I'm gonna completely forget how to play, and it's one of those games kind of like Dark Souls that it doesn't forgive you for forgetting how to play. Like as soon as you hop back in, it's brutal.
Maybe you're just like a messed up person. That's why you don't like all these bright colored games.
Maybe.
He goes, maybe.
I
uh,
ain't gonna deny it. There are probably definitely some messed up things going on in my head.
well, you'd be the only one to know.
Uh, you're not wrong, unless I went to therapy, I guess. Then we could find out.
Right. But I wouldn't want. First of all, I wouldn't want you to go through that. Second of all, I wouldn't want the therapist to go through that. And third of all, I don't want to be like being like, "Hey, Cody, how are you?" and then have you just start going off on me because your therapist didn't want to hear it anymore. So,
Fair.
like, if you go through therapy, no offense, but I probably won't talk to you for like 3 months.
Fair
And if
enough.
we do a podcast, I won't even ask how to do it. I'll be like, "And Cody's here. All right, let's move on." Uh, so, anyways, I just like to throw this out there, people, because we're getting it's gonna be a bit of a short episode. We're getting close to the end. We were going to talk about like the Johnny Depp situation, and I was going to bring up Zack Snyder's Justice League, just to throw out there like where our conversations go sometimes. Uh,
Yeah.
technically we're still in our first segment of the podcast and talking about Cody's day and week in life.
Fair enough.
That's where this started. I guess I did put my input with the PlayStation for a bit, but we're not even on me yet. So buckle up, guys. I mean, this is 30 minutes of Cody time. We're gonna have another 30 minutes of John time, and then we're gonna
Whoa.
have the 30 minutes of the podcast.
Oh, man.
So
We
what?
still got an hour to go.
Still got a whole hour to go. So
Oh, man.
buckle up, get your favorite drink, whatever that is, and here we go. Sonic 2. Hold on. Sorry, I just saw Sega. Sega's so I need to know, is Sega and Capcom a Nintendo thing? Or are they still their own entities? They just use Nintendo as like a basic platform to release their stuff on.
That is a great
Well, no,
question.
because you also have uh Capcom meets DC or whatever game that came out recently. Oh no,
Mhm.
wait, it wasn't Marvel. Hold
Well,
on. Oh
Sega, I don't know so much that has released like video games. They were a console that essentially I think got like bought out by
no, it
Nintendo.
was Capcom and Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvel versus Capcom. So, um,
Yeah, I
is
think
yeah.
Sega sold out to Nintendo eventually. Oh no.
Well, I know Sega like kind of like went out of business or bankrupt or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here.
Hold on, I'm just going to be basic. Oh, great. Google Overlord once again answer one of my questions underneath my wife's email or Gmail account. So she's going to be scratching her head later when she looks at this history. Is
Oh, fun stuff.
Capcom owned by Nintendo? That's the first thing. Nintendo buys either Capcom or Sega. The other was bought by Microsoft. Nintendo gets Capcom for Mega Man, Ace Attorney, Monster Hunter, and all other games that are basically made for Nintendo. Okay,
Essentially, Sega stopped with the home entertainment stuff and is focusing more on their like arcade stuff.
well they have great arcades. I'll tell you that right now, arcade games. Um, okay, so Nintendo has part of Capcom and Sega, and Microsoft has the other part.
Hmm.
Is
Sounds
that
like it.
is that kind of like how like Disney didn't actually buy out Fox; they just bought out a section of Fox?
It might be.
Like,
Kind of
except in
sounds
this
like
case,
it.
it
'Cause it
would.
sounds like Nintendo bought part of what like Sega was doing, and PlayStation bought the other part.
Oh, Microsoft, so that'd be Xbox.
Okay, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Sorry, not PlayStation.
So that'd be like when Disney bought like the section of like Fox Entertainment, and then it'd be like Amazon being like, all right, well, we'll buy the other section too.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understand it. Again, we say these things with the utmost confidence, and they're probably wrong. So, people, if any of the stuff we're saying is wrong, please message us on Facebook or Instagram or Spreaker or wherever the heck you know how to get a hold of us, and just call us out for this stuff. We would love to hear it
Yep.
because right
If
now
we're ever saying wrong stuff, call us out, man.
Because right now, I want to go to work and I want to be like, hey, did you guys know that Nintendo owns half of Capcom and Sega? And either they're going to believe me or they're going to be like, you're full of it, John, and walk away.
Yeah.
So but I need to know, guys, before I go. Hyrule Warriors, that's what it's called. Before I go to work. So Hyrule Warriors, that's rated T. I didn't know Nintendo knew there was a. Did you see that Pikmin 3 was coming out?
What is coming
Pink,
out?
Pikmin. The
Uh,
little dudes with the flowers on their heads.
yeah. To be fair, I haven't played any of the other ones. Like I've I saw somebody play Pikmin 1 years ago. Like, I'm talking like I was in like maybe fourth grade or
So that's
something
some
when they
elementary
played
school
it.
stuff right there.
So did not know they were still making them even.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Monkey Ball. That was another one for Nintendo. Monkey Ball was fun.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, I guess, is a Nintendo thing.
I
Pac.
mean, the
Oh
short
yeah,
answer
Pac
is
Man.
that
Yeah.
Sega is not owned by Nintendo. However, Nintendo does have the rights to many of the Sega games.
Which explains how they got like Sonic.
Yeah. Sega and Nintendo have a great relationship, but Nintendo does not own Sega.
That's interesting.
So essentially, they're like, yes, we'll sell you the rights to make these things, but you don't own any of it. We still own it.
Okay, well that's like Sony with Spider-Man then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just so Pokemon. You play Pokemon all the time. You're still one of the Pokemon goers, aren't you?
Yes, I am
Okay.
definitely still in the Pokemon Go.
So so I'll judge you later for that. So there you go. That's a Nintendo game you play all the time.
Yeah,
Um
and Pokemon in general, I still enjoy. So, I mean, yeah, there are a decent amount of like things I still will play on Nintendo. Like, I would love to like play Mario Party and stuff more, but without groups for some of those, like, there's not a whole lot of point sometimes.
would you play online?
Mario Kart, I would. Mario Party, one, I don't know if you actually can with Mario Party, and two, if you could, it just wouldn't be the same
It
without
wouldn't.
like people that you know in that
Well,
game.
you're supposed to argue and get mad and on the verge of tears with Mario Party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Can't do
whenever you
that.
get somebody that's way ahead, you're all supposed to gang up and take them out.
I mean, like, I guess you could still cry like online. You know,
You could, but it's not the same.
like when you finally get that one star you've been trying to get all game, and you are now for the first time ever in first place, ahead of the crowd. You got the most coins, the most like power ups, the most stars. You're just like nothing could stop me. Then it's your older brother's next turn, and he just happens to hit on the green. Hey, pick a character, lands on you. It's like pick what you take, and you take all the stars, and he's all the way up to like 10 stars, and you're at zero, and you're back and forth, and it really hurts your soul and everything like that. And
Exactly.
and then all of a sudden,
Doesn't hit
like,
as hard if it's a stranger.
yeah, and then all of a sudden it's a battle mini game after that, and of course you wage the most coins, and then you lose them all. So then your other brother has the most coins, and you're just in fourth place, and you're just like, I have power ups that just don't mean a thing anymore, and then you
Yep.
just lose the game like right there because it was like the last 5 turns.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah, that didn't happen all the flipping time or anything. So,
Precisely.
anyways,
not like Mario Party makes you want to rage quit or anything.
Yeah. Or what game was it? Okay, quick story because we're running out of time. Um,
All right.
I don't know if you remember this, but I'm like fairly certain you were there.
Mm-hmm.
It was you, me, I think your brother was there, and Adam. Okay? So basically the JC Radio team before we knew that we were going to be the JC Radio team. And
Mm-hmm.
and we were playing, I feel like there were more people there, but we were playing Super Smash Brothers. And you know how Adam gets when he plays Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And it was late at night, which didn't help. And because Adam Tired is like, he gets really he's got a small fuse. The smallest thing will set him off. It's just who he is. Okay, we've learned to live with it. So I forgot what happened. I don't even remember if I was playing this game or not. But something happened where like Adam lost like 3 times in a row, and it was one of those moments where like every time he lost, he would just get like worse and worse. You know, because that happens sometimes. And
It definitely does.
yeah, and out of nowhere, I don't know if he slammed the controller down. He threw something and kind of just said like "F you guys" and like got in his car and left. And we were all planning on spending the night too. And he didn't. I didn't. He didn't talk to me for like 2 or 3 days after that.
That sounds about like Adam.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember that or not. I don't remember if you were there. I think you were there though. But
Dude, I couldn't confirm or deny either way on that.
but it sounds like something that would happen.
It definitely does.
Because yeah, I remember there was a time when we were playing with Adam. Again, I don't remember if you were there or not. I was there. I'm pretty sure your brother was there. And yeah, he just got really mad and like drove away. And we were only together for like 3 hours. You know, like I think the sun just went down, and we're just like, all right, I guess Adam's not hanging out tonight. So
Yeah.
but that's what Nintendo games do to you, man. And
Some of them can, yeah.
they're supposed to be like family friendly, but they're just like, how can we break up a
They
family?
they bring out a competitive spirit that you didn't even know you had
Oh yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So it's good stuff. Well, that's all the time we have here today. I hope you guys liked our very unplanned discussion of Nintendo and I guess gaming consoles.
Yeah.
There you go. Let us know what your guys' favorite gaming console is and what your favorite game is on that console. Also, let us know your favorite game. Maybe your favorite game might not be on your favorite console. You know,
Yeah.
if you're a computer guy, don't let that discourage you from chiming in. You know, let us know
Yeah.
about that computer stuff, man.
Yeah. If you PC master race, let us know.
Oh yeah, totally. I might not listen, but let us know anyways. It's good content. So, but yeah, you can hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But please don't hit us up on Twitter. Yeah. Anyways, we also have Spreaker. You can hit us up on Spreaker.com. Just search JC Radio and you will see our logo. You can also email us at jcradio.podcast@gmail.com. Of course, please like, share, and subscribe. You can also listen to us on Spotify, and we will be expounding other stuff also on ways you can listen. And YouTube, just search JC Radio or JC Radio Podcast on YouTube. You'll see our logo. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. We do release new episodes every week. I think Wednesdays is what we're doing for this season. And yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. Message us, email us, let us know what we got right, let us know what we got wrong, and just say hi, because we're lonely, like you.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Cody, do you
We're
have
all a
any?
little lonely. I'm just gonna say we're all a little bit lonely during all this COVID craziness.
Yes. So please reach out to us. Anything else?
No, man, not today. I ain't got nothing for us.
Sweet. Awesome. All right. Well, without further ado, this is JC Radio, and we are signing out.
Peace.